What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Salud Cabrones podcast. I am Danny Villegas.
And I am Javier Ledesma.
We're coming to you live from the Midwest Toy Show in Romeoville, Illinois. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special guest sitting here with us having some brewskis. We have Mr. Majin Buu.
Josh Martin.
What's up? Hola, mi amigos.
Oh, shit. What's going on?
There you go. See?
See?
That's what I'm talking about, man. Getting that Spanish accent out there.
Muy poquito.
Un poquito.
Hey, Josh, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us, man. We appreciate it.
Thank you both for having me.
Thank you for
My
coming
pleasure.
to show us, man. Before we turn on the mics right now, you were telling us something pretty interesting, man, that you took your first wrestling bump last year at 49 years old.
I did. It's
Wow.
almost to the day.
Wow.
Yeah, I was blessed to make some connections into a wrestling company and was given the opportunity to learn some more of the craft that I've been an outside spectator and lover of and student of. And boy,
How was that?
it's a good thing I didn't get hooked up sooner.
You felt it, huh?
No, I loved it. I wanted to do it more and more and more, but I just had to remind myself that, even when I was young, I wouldn't have had that many matches in me. I can only imagine how short my lifespan would be if I took many more bumps. But it's good to learn how to do it, be safe.
Right.
Take care of yourself, and learning how to do it was fun.
So how did you get into pro wrestling as a kid? What was your first exposure to that?
I tell you, I remember only watching my pawpaw watch it, right? And I didn't understand what was going on the TV. I didn't pay attention to it, but I saw that my pawpaw was into it, right? I mean, he was squirming in the chair, getting all excited about promos and things. And so that was my first little inkling of it, but I do remember the first time I saw Ric Flair cut a promo.
There you go. Yes, sir.
And I thought, what is that?
Yep.
Well, now I certainly care more.
Right.
Before, they're just some guys in their underwear jumping around in a ring. I was young. I didn't understand the other part of it. But I did understand that Ric Flair was not happy. You know what I mean? Was calling somebody out, and I was invested.
Yeah.
And so from that point on, I've been drawn towards the talkers.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you. So with that, because now, I'm hearing you talk about that, and you being a voice actor, because you said what brought you into it was the promos, right? So would you say that maybe had a little bit to get into the voice acting, the talking, and getting into a different character? And
that was natural. Yeah, I from wrestling to commercials to cartoons to MTV to television, everything. Just my brain just automatically parrots sounds and words that or voices that I think that I can mimic, and that has served me. That has served me well.
I think everyone, like as far as being a kid, watching cartoons, watching pro wrestling, things like that, we all have those moments where we do our impressions of certain people.
Got to.
It's great. Like
That's how we relate, right?
Exactly. That's how we relate.
Yeah, I got fortunate to people would smile at me when I do it and say, "Oh, that was good. You sound like him."
what was the first voice you tried to impersonate?
Oh, I don't. Man, I've been doing the Pillsbury Doughboy for a long time because as a young kid, you got a higher voice, and I was just able to do it. And luckily, I was able to carry that on into my adult life after my voice changed. And oddly enough, that took me into my Majin Buu part.
So, speaking with the Pillsbury, I read online that you did a little bit of comedy, and you took that character and twisted it up a little bit and called it the Pillsbury Homeboy. Is that correct?
I did. That is correct.
That is awesome.
And that's what got me Majin Buu. I was performing the Pillsbury Homeboy on stage with our comedy troupe, Section 8 Comedy, in Dallas, Texas. And after Chris Rager and Mike McFarland had gotten their parts, they were in the same comedy troupe, and they invited Chris Sabat out to our show, and Sabat saw me do the Pillsbury Homeboy. And after the show, he said, I think I found the voice of Majin Buu.
Can you give us a little bit of the homeboy?
Nothing says loving like the blunts I be puffin'.
That is fucking awesome. Wow.
Hilarious.
Wow.
Thank you. That was so at our first meeting in the comedy troupe, everybody went around the room and said, "All right, what imitations do you do?" And I raised my hand. I said, I do Scooby Doo." And everybody else raised their hand and said, "I do too." And I thought, "Oh." And I said, "I do the Pillsbury Doughboy." They were like, "Really?" I said, "Yeah." So I did.
Nothing says loving like my crescent rolls.
And everybody laughed. They said, "That's good. That's good." Then my other friend, longtime friend Mark Orvik, he goes, "Oh, hey, say this." And I went,
I'm hollering 187 with my dough in your mouth, biatch.
"Yes." And everybody in the room did just what y'all did. And I knew from that point that was a
money
winner.
maker, huh?
That character was going to do something.
Wow. Dude.
So, to all those Dragon Ball Z fans out there listening to that, and then they go, "Oh my God, that's the humble beginnings of Majin Buu talking about smoking blunts." It's hilarious.
Real humble.
So then, right off the bat, that's how they found the Majin Buu. You?
That
Right
was
there?
it.
That was
right
it.
there.
Huh?
I didn't audition or anything.
Wow, that's awesome. Straight
Wow.
to
So you just
straight
went
to the show.
straight on set. That was it.
The next day I went to the studio, and I didn't even know what Dragon Ball Z
I was
was,
about to ask
much
you,
less. I knew what anime was, but we still called it Japanimation.
Yep. Yep.
And just to be clear, that's Japan and animation put together. Nothing derogatory there, but that's just what we knew of it.
Yeah.
And I wasn't into it.
Yeah.
I didn't really like it. And I've since realized that the reason I didn't like it is because of the out of sync mouths, right? It just took me out of it. I'm like, why don't they talk right? And I didn't know that they were a foreign thing that had been dubbed, right? I didn't get that, so I just didn't watch it.
Yeah.
But that's something that Funimation, Crunchyroll, we actors and producers and directors have tried to work on. They actually count the number of times the mouth opens and closes, and they call that a flap, right? And so they try to translate from the Japan or whatever language it's in into English, and then try to match that verbiage with the number of flaps
Okay.
to make it seem more like it's natural.
Right.
It's original,
Yeah,
right?
Linda Young told us a little bit about that, something
Yeah.
about counting the sequences and things of that nature. She kind of touched on that, but that's interesting. I didn't put one and one together when she told us that, why that was.
And I didn't either until all these years of doing it and like, being able to apply and understand what I didn't know.
So once you landed that role and you weren't familiar with the world of Dragon Ball,
Right.
A lot of people always obviously get, like, for example, like Marvel actors, they land this role and then all of a sudden they're like, man, I got to go and look at all these comic books to kind of get familiar with the characters. Is that something you did shortly after that, beyond obviously not interested in the anime world?
I did not.
Okay.
I did not do it basically because it wasn't accessible. You know what I mean? This was 2000. You were still having to trade tapes or get an overseas shipment of a manga, or you know what I mean. You had to know where that was. You had to be into it, right? It wasn't on every day after school until we started doing it.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So I went to the studio and Chris gave me the Cliff's Notes version, the 411, in about 2 minutes. And I was brought up to speed.
They're like, go.
I'm serious. He goes, all right, let's watch it. So I watched the first. When you see Majin Buu come on the screen, that's the first time I ever saw it, and you hear it. That's the first time I ever did a voiceover.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Luckily, he didn't have any soliloquies. You know what I mean? It was just. But
The Majin Buu character during that Majin Buu saga, and I'm sure you hear this a lot from some of the fans. I got into Dragon Ball during the Frieza saga,
Okay.
and I remember watching it, prior to that when he was still a little kid and whatnot, and
Right.
I enjoyed it. But I think I really got into it during the Frieza saga,
All right.
and I enjoyed it. But then the Majin Buu saga to me was so different and so unique And a lot of that I credit to the character. And now that I'm actually sitting here with you, it's kind of awesome. But I remember going like, I love Majin Buu. That character is freaking hilarious and it's awesome. So when you were putting together this character, because you didn't have much to go with, what was your inspiration behind what you were doing in terms of putting together that character for the American audience?
Well, I got to give all the credit to the original series, the writers, and the animators, because it's right there. It's right there for you to see on the screen. You know what I mean? If they're angry, you can tell. And almost to the point of stereotypes, actual stereotypes. You see a character with glasses, they're a nerd. You know what I mean? And that's just how it is. So I can't take credit for the character at all. That was written and established. I'll take credit for performing and doing my part with the voice, but and just super fun. I was able to put myself in position and be prepared for that opportunity. Some people call that luck. Either way, here I am 25 years later
Still
doing
talking about it.
It's wild. It's wild. So I'll never take credit for that, for the character. I'll just take credit for doing the voice and being lucky to be in that position.
What do the fans tell you? What's like the most like awesome stuff that they come up and they tell you about that character?
Oh, wow. Boo doesn't get a lot of, sentimental love necessarily, right? They just love that he's so crazy, or that, Fat Boo specifically is cute and sweet, but will kill people, or, you know what I mean? Or the opposite, they love Kid Boo because he is such a maniac, you know what I mean? Just pure evil. So
I love the contrast in that, by the way. That was always my favorite part of that character.
It's weird. I give the credit there goes to Chris Sabat for having the knowledge about the series, and I think that he obviously knew the character of Majin Buu and the makeup of that, and I think he saw where I was doing the Pillsbury Homeboy, where it had a cute voice, but it was definitely saying some evil stuff. You know what I mean? So I don't know if he made that conscious decision or if he just thought, oh, that's a cute voice. I doubt that. He's so smart. He's so he's like, man, cute and evil. Majin Buu, thank you that was easy.
Nice.
Why'd I have auditions for the past 3 months? I know they had auditions, and I'm paraphrasing. I'm putting words into Sabat's mouth. Don't quote me on that, or him on that. But yeah, I think that's just the deal. He's just smart like that. He's familiar, and that's how all that good casting got done.
Is there a voice out there that you would have really loved to play, or you heard it and like, damn, I could have done that so much better?
Y'all gotta forgive me. It's not anime. I wish I was on King of the Hill.
Okay.
Nice.
Any particular character?
Oh, I do most all of them.
Ooh, let's hear some Mike Judge voices.
Hank, your wife, she's so nice, Peggy. Nancy. And me sitting over here being a knob. John Redcorn has really taken care of you, hasn't he?
Or Boomhauer, right? Little Dino, tell you what, man, little Dino click, little CK1, man, I'll tell you what, man. Just love that.
The weirdest thing is I literally picture the Majin Buu character just mumbling. I was like,
Bobby,
that boy ain't right.
that boy ain't right. Peggy, we're going to town. And that's it. No, I love Stephanie's Bobby Hill. We need to do a duo there. She does a great Bobby Hill.
That's my purse.
Did you grow up, and you mentioned King of the Hill, but did you grow up being a Mike Judge fan with Beavis and Butthead and things
totally.
like that?
Yeah. Yes. This is cool.
Oh, man. I grew up, Mike Judge probably raised me in the wrong ways.
Absolutely.
Okay, class. I love their teacher,
Yeah.
the hippie dippy.
Mr. Van Driesen.
That's it. Yeah, right.
Oh man, that's awesome. So, before you finish your voice acting career, would you say that that's a show that you would hopefully try to get on? Or
Yeah, they're
Man, I'd
redoing it
love-
now.
yeah,
Yeah, I'd
Yep.
love to do some voice to tape where they animate my voice. You know, because right now I gotta put my voice with what they've already illustrated. Right. It'd be cool to go in and just perform the script as you would want to perform it, and then have them illustrate it
yeah.
to that. Yeah, I mean, any role like that would be great. I think that's clearly an opportunity in Los Angeles. They're getting fewer and farther between these days with AI and technology and stuff like that. But that would be my
Your hopes and
goal.
dreams.
Yeah, I would love to do or maybe a new character on King of the Hill. Maybe a Cajun moves into town. Hey Hank, we gonna go get some crawfish tonight? How many beers is gonna take us to do the yard work this weekend? I don't know. Hank, I'm gonna pass by the grocery store. You want me to save you some food? Oh, I don't know what you're saying to me. That sounds like French. Oh, that's pretty good there, Hank.
That's great.
I don't know.
What's your most memorable line that you hit as Majin Buu that like you love, that you felt like when you hit it, you're like, man, this was a home run?
The first one was when he went to the city and he found ice cream, and he wanted ice cream, but he had to have money for it. And he didn't know what money is, and so he found that there was a fight. They were having a little tournament there, and he could win some money. So he was going to do that, but then he also saw, this was his first foray into like people, like meeting people.
Okay.
And he saw a GQ type magazine, and he thought, oh, that's what girls like, right? And so his first line was,
You think Boo's sexy? How about a smooch? Mwah!
that was the first time doing Boo. I thought, oh yeah, now some personality, not just screaming,
Yeah, right,
fighting.
right.
Yeah.
And then, but my go-to all the time now is the
All pudding cups are for Boo.
from the Battle of the Gods.
Yeah, that's awesome. Right now, before the episode began, before we started recording, we saw a family all walk around with Majin Buu logos.
Yes.
How does that make you feel on these conventions, like when you see that stuff and you know, obviously you represent that character?
Right, and that's it. I represent it, and I try to keep that in mind and respect that.
Yeah.
And represent it properly.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
It's wild to think that, like I said, this ain't me. I just got to be the voice of the American version. So I respect that and just marvel at it, right? That I'm a part
And
of
how
it.
wild and crazy and huge that world is.
It's
you know?
awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still going to this day. You know?
Yes, indeed.
Yes. And I found out earlier that you were one of the Barneys. Is
That's
that
right.
correct?
Yes. It was my first acting job.
Really?
My first audition.
No shit. Okay.
Yep. I got the part of body talent. As
So you
Barney.
you played the inside Barney, right?
Yes, the costume
Yeah.
on the world tour. Barney's Big Surprise.
Really? Wow.
1996 to 99. Along the way, I did the TV show the summer of '97 while David Joyner was in Montreal recording the movie Barney's Big Adventure.
Yeah.
And then after that, I got off the road and did special events, hospital visits,
Oh, nice.
interviews.
How was wearing the
things like
suit?
that. Oh, hot and heavy, baby. Hot and heavy.
It looked hot. In that
Yes.
video.
50 pounds, 120 degrees on average.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
It's a sweaty mess afterwards, huh?
You know this. I ate 4 meals a day.
Oh man.
4 meals a day.
So during the takes of that, are they removing the mask so that you can drink, or is there like
There's
an
no
apparatus
mask.
in there for you to
It's
drink?
all one piece, from head to ankle.
Wow.
Holy shit.
And then
Bathroom
the
breaks?
feet.
How's that done?
What bathroom? Serious. When I started, we were on the show, on a live show.
Yeah.
Now, luckily, there were two of us, because Barney would make magical appearances here and there, in places and costumes that couldn't be done naturally, so we used two actors. But and so there were times where we would be able to take those bathroom breaks, but man, you're sweating for the most part. I could have to pee bad before going out, and by the halftime, I'm like, I need more water.
All the pee, all the pee just got sweated out.
I'm not even joking. It's why I wouldn't drink or eat dairy.
Oh, I don't blame you.
Any questions?
I would not blame you, man. You stuck in there.
That's why Jack Daniels was my friend.
I like the scent of bourbon.
It's a natural cleanser.
There you go. Well, Joshua, thank you so much for coming and sitting with us, man. We appreciate you, man.
Appreciate y'all.
Thank
Had
you
a
so
great
much,
time.
man. Thank you. We appreciate your time, man.
Here's to you.
Oh, man. See?
Salud.
De cabrones.
Oh, see? I love
there
that.
we go.
See?
Our last guest couldn't even say cabrones.
I know, and that's usually how we sign off. We sign off with a toast, just saying salud, cabrones, man. So, why not one more time? 1, 2, 3. Salud, cabrones. We out.
Or I'll turn you to chocolate.